And we are back so soon. If you're watching this, but you haven't watched the first part of the Scatterbrain stream, go back, watch that. But uh, just posting a quick little update that once again, this weekend's project was a miserable failure. So I opened up my receiver and I loosened up this board and got in a position that, I can try to work on recapping it without, I mean, these are a lot of wires here and there's no connector. So there's no real way to free this board up to really work on it easily. But whatever, one by one, if we can get the capacitors out, get the new capacitors in, we can work our way through it and then maneuver this back into there. That's the game plan. Problem is, this receiver is a Fisher MC4010, which has AM/FM radio and 8-track and recorder. It looks nearly identical to Fisher had a few models that look nearly identical. The one I had growing up was the MC4050A, which also had a turntable and cassette deck on the top of it. So that's really the only visual difference between what I had growing up and this is that the top is smooth, no cassette deck, no turntable, and also the 8-track deck has a counter added in, which the belt that moves that was way too loose and not worth tracking down because I don't care about a counter. So I intend for this to just not have a working counter unless a belt happens to land on my lap while I happen to have the thing open. So I went online looking for service manuals. I did not find a service manual for the 4010, but I did find a 4050 service manual. And I figured, they're the same line, the same parts. They just, the 4010 was a 4050 without a turntable and a cassette deck. Why would they make different 8-track boards for different models in the same line that all look the same? That is a good question. Why would they do that? I don't know. But that is a question that needs to be asked because that's exactly what they did. Because I come over here to my laptop and I have here my PDF of the 4050 service manual, which I had to buy, by the way. And here's the board, and it shows that there should be a 100 microfarad capacitor up here in this corner. I'm pretty sure I got the right corners, but the point is that I came over here and I wanted to start with an easy win. This is a nice large capacitor, really easy to access, and it looks like a mess, although that might be adhesive leaking out and not actually leaking stuff, but I don't know. Either way, I figured there's my starting point. So I desoldered that capacitor. I take it out, I visually inspect it. It's 220 microfarad. So I come to my spreadsheet I made from my parts list from that board, and the only 220 microfarad capacitors that I purchased based on the schematics and the service manual were two 220 microfarad capacitors for the motor, which are over here. So I don't have a 220 microfarad capacitor for here. Now, I do have a 220 microfarad capacitor if I just borrow, and not do one of these or, but the point is that my parts list and my schematic is not what I have in front of me. So now I got to figure that out before I can fix this damn thing. Finally, I get inspired to sit down here, open something up, fire up the soldering iron, and get some parts in front of me and put something together. And I have parts I bought for a board I don't have, and no schematic for the board I do have. So, I don't know. Maybe I need to go back to spooling tapes onto reels. Anyways, I did get to listen to half of a Ford Quadrasonic sampler, which I bought mainly for the Fifth of Beethoven track on there. Although it had a great rendition of the Close Encounters of the Third Kind by the Living Strings, I might have to search out more of that. So anyways, I soldered the bad capacitor back. Actually, I don't even know if it's bad. Like I said, this leaking might just be adhesive. It seems to be kind of leaky glue adhesive, but the others don't have that same type of thing. So I don't. It measures fine on my meter, but that doesn't mean it works good under load, under stress. Point is, I put it back because I'll need to know what's actually here and how it's in there. So now I got to come up with a plan to figure out what capacitors I really have on this board versus what capacitors I have over here in front of me and what I still need. So I guess I need to actually find and buy a 4010 service manual. Well, that's a bummer. Anyways, so that's more of Army of Quads Scatterbrain projects and hobbies. So I don't know what I'm going to do next. Anyways, thank you all for watching this, and more to come. And you all have a great rest of your Sunday, a great week, or whatever. And bye.